let's reframe how we understand schooling for a bit. Instead of viewing it as a place that forces you to learn tons and tons of information, why not view it as a place of an extensive training program that sets you up for life by teaching you different skills? You may argue that at the end of the day, academics will always triumph over all the other skills that we are taught because society explicitly wants us to view it that way, which again, by the way, it's completely normal to think that way. However, in my opinion, it's a little more nuanced than that. Let me explain. Every test, every assignment that you take doesn't just evaluate your academic performance, but something much more valuable than that. Your efficiency, your work ethic, your discipline. The stuff that you learned back in elementary school may not be relevant now, but these skills that you developed over the years will last you forever. We learn that our every action has consequences. I do not turn in my assignment in time, I get punished. I am punctual, I'm praised. I do not put the work and time into something, I don't get the results. Just imagine if we didn't face any consequences for any of the actions growing up. We do things we aren't supposed to do, we fight, we are rude to others, and we just get away with it. The sheer amount of chaos that will ensue, not just in the school campus, but in the world at large, will destroy the last semblance of peace and order that we even have in our society. Believe me, I have seen a number of my contemporaries who find it completely alright to make the teacher wait for an assignment that they were supposed to hand in 3 weeks ago. The point is, it's not just the individual assignment in itself, but the respect that you have for your seniors, your superiors, your teachers, the staff. In one way or another, it does kind of circle back to the treatment that they were given in the past for doing something or not doing something. Is there an extreme consequence, as in do I fail the test? Or can I just submit my assignment whenever I want and have the teacher beg so that I submit something that I was supposed to do a long time ago, and I just keep them waiting for as long as I want, because nothing really happens if I do that kind of thing. The next thing is time management and having a work structure, and this is where giving the children the proper independence from a young age is super crucial. You see, my parents won't be able to schedule in my engagements for any given day because they don't know my requirements the way I do. Thus, I either make things work by making time for my school, for my extracurriculars, for my exam prep, for every other thing that I'm doing, or I remain unorganized, let things get messy, and then stress out for every single big thing that occurs in my life. Look, whether we're school students or working professionals, these skills of planning, thinking things through, executing them by scheduling them and carrying them out properly are invaluable resources, and we need them every step of the way. We tweak things here and there. Old habits may not be relevant to our present needs, but the basic skeleton of these skills that we develop over the time remains the same. This next one's my personal favorite, and that is sharing responsibilities. I have been incredibly lucky in that I have always been given responsibilities and duties from when I was in class 1 all throughout class 12. Now, at high school, I would at times get kind of frustrated because I had to either babysit people my age or there were some infuriating circumstances. But I still kept on doing those things because I knew that these are low-stakes situations and these are the skills that I'm going to need later on in my life. You know, things like organizing events successfully, mediating between people, pacifying someone who's clearly distressed, handling all sorts of last-minute changes, all the while keeping my grades up high, meeting my academic requirements, and God knows what else high school threw at me. Which is why I would say, stressful as those 2 years were, I'm incredibly grateful that I even had those experiences. While again, true, I wouldn't want all those things happening to me all at the same time as they did in those last 2 years, but those experiences were proof enough to me that I'm capable of handling unexpected and novel situations on my own. That realization, I would say, is really crucial to have, especially at this phase in life when we start to make decisions on our own and enter into the whole wide world. School makes us experience these discomforts without actually putting us in real danger. That is why I would always say, while you're in school, try out new things, have new experiences, be the person that people can depend on when things get a little messy, carry out things with success. And again, if things get too difficult for you, you can always ask for help. I don't think there's a scarier reality than entering adulthood without having any prior knowledge of how to deal with people and problems. There is always more to learn from life, sure, but it's always good to have a primary know-how of things that can act as a launching pad for your success. And school can do that for you. So before you start complaining about how school is tough, about how you don't like school, try reframing that mindset. Think of it as a place that is teaching you all these skills, that is letting you have these experiences without it actually getting too dangerous. Remind yourself that you're training to become a better and responsible adult. Whether you like it or not, expectations and societal pressures are always going to exist in one way or another. So it's completely up to you to decide what you can or will with those circumstances. School can be a really wonderful experience if you let it. That's me. What do you think? I would love to know something that you've learned from school that you wouldn't have otherwise learned. Put it down in the comment. I will see you over there. Bye.